Good morning.
Good morning, John.
Welcome to the Ashes to Rubies conversational podcast, Life and Recovery.
No, this is a live stream.
This is a live stream. This is not a podcast.
It's
This is a live stream
that we're recording and we put up onto a podcast.
Yes.
Just
It
like
is Thursday. Beautiful day. Just like what?
Just like the amateurs that we are.
Look at the beautiful day today that we have.
It's really nice out.
This is God's day that we get to be a part of. That's a good mindset to start the day with. This isn't my day. This is God's day, and I get to be a child in the sandbox. Yep. I was thinking, what did I want to eat today? We're having lamb later. I love lamb. But then lunchtime. I don't know. But if I had a restaurant, do you know what kind of restaurant I'd have? As an owner, operator of a restaurant, this is what I would do. You already know this. Do you already know?
Of course I do.
What?
Meat, fruit.
I talk about stuff too often.
I feel like
I would do a restaurant with just meat and fruit, because meat and fruit pair well together. If you had the right fruit combinations, and give me my book. What's your turn? The 28th. I think that's a great idea. Does anybody have any meat fruit combinations that they eat on a regular? I know that I do pork tenderloin with pears. And obviously there's turkey and cranberry. I haven't developed the menu is really what I'm saying. Ground beef and peaches. Great combination. I think it's an endless world that we could, if we wanted to be restaurateurs, that's what we would do. I know that coffee has been kicking in right now, and that's why I'm talking about restaurants and food. Do you have anything fun to say?
No.
Do you have any plans today? Anything cool? Anything that you're working on? No. Any projects? No. We have our Ashes to Rubies, our first live Ashes to Rubies event on Saturday at 58 Grosvenor Avenue.
If you're in Ottawa,
Canada, then come and join us. Otherwise, we put a lot of the content that we capture at the show onto our YouTube channel. So we did a show last week.
Canada. Someone else did a show that we helped out with.
Yeah. So we're trying to get different shows in different locations. And so this show is going to be a vigil for the losses that we have suffered through COVID. And it's a time to cry together, to find hope together, and just to be able to expend some of this captured energy that we have in sadness. And, I don't ever want to get to the point where it's like a loss, like it's just another loss. And it's just hitting a tally, because there's some people that I've talked to that have lost 15. That one other person said they've lost 30 people that they were friends with. And I'm like, that's a lot of people.
They have more friends than I do.
That's a lot of friends. But that's the tragedy of isolation, of COVID, of the constant changing rules and the tension behind the injustices. And then we're all alone. And there's some people that are more alone than others because of their living circumstances. I remember at the beginning of COVID, I said, I am so glad that I didn't have to go through treatment in that time, because I don't think, like, I can't say that I wouldn't have made it, but I just, the added tension and anxiety, it would be overwhelming. And so I remember knowing some guys that were going through treatment and stuff, and just going like, at the homeless shelter, and there's so much change down there, especially, and tension. And so we want to come together on Saturday and have a good cry. I think a good cry is good. Maybe we'll get to hug people. I don't know what the rules are.
You're wearing a mask.
You gotta wear a mask. All of that fun stuff. Okay, thank you for joining us. We are going to get into our this would be a contemplative meditation, where we take a reading and discuss the idea behind it, and then take that idea throughout the day. It is a gift to take an idea and let God really expand that in our lives and in our minds. Good morning, Deanna. How are you doing?
There are times when the poor me mood is upon us. We're overwhelmed by all the troubles we have to face.
What's the poor me mood?
Poor little old me syndrome. We call it the PLOMS.
The PLOMS?
I feel so sorry for myself.
So that's self-pity or insecurity?
Feel like that.
Is insecurity and self-pity the same?
No. Okay. Self-pity. We're often overwhelmed by all the troubles we have to face. This is especially likely to happen when we have begun to try to change our thinking about ourselves and our relation to others. We may at first become too analytical and try to solve too much at once. For this frame of mind, there is an almost infallible prescription to empty our minds of all thoughts but one, today, and how to use it. Today's reminder, this day is mine. It is unique. Nobody in the world has one exactly like it. It holds the sum of all my past experience and all my future potential. It belongs to me to do with whatever I like. I can fill it with joyous moments or ruin it with fruitless worry. If painful recollections of the past come into my mind or frightening thoughts of the future, I will put them away. They cannot spoil today for me. Today is my special gift from God. How will I use it? The less I let others affect it, the more serene and satisfying it will be for me. And I love that reading because there's a practice that I started last year, and it was waking up and saying, okay, God, today thy will, not mine, be done.
Waking up. Hi, sunshine.
I don't wake up well. And so then I had to start doing it the night before. Help me wake up well.
I just want to commend you on your waking up ability. In the last, I would say, you're transformed.
I know.
In the last, I would say 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
No. It's been longer than that. So the last year, I remember. So, okay.
Sorry, I didn't want to minimize my praise to you.
Let's back up.
I
2 years ago when my job ended, I woke up whenever I felt like it for a long time. Whenever I felt like it. I went to bed whenever I felt like it too. And then last summer, I remember feeling really proud of myself and really excited that I was waking up by myself, no alarm, between 8 and 8:30. I was really excited about that. Like, that was a big deal for me.
I remember you telling me if God wants me up, he'll get me up. And I was like...
And I would say that to God the night before. God, if you want me to wake up. I know, because you like to...
feel sorry for myself.
And tell me all the things that I need to be doing. And so I left it to God. And then last year I was waking up by myself between 8 and 8:30, and also wasn't having my phone in my room, wasn't on my phone at night. Like, I started implementing making
discipline,
not drinking coffee in the afternoon, other things that contribute to good sleep, working a program. And then this year I started waking up between 7 and 7:30 by myself. I was like,
and now my goodness. Now you're at what?
Well, now, like, there was a couple days earlier this week, I woke up at 6:15 before the alarm. So I did start setting an alarm to wake up at 6:30 and be downstairs to work out at 7.
You know what I smile at inside, because now that you've noticed that I struggle waking up, and you've always not condemned me, but congratulated me or whatever. You're just a morning person, but it's actually like hard for me to get up sometimes.
But you are a morning person, much more so than...
I have to force myself. Like, I have to get out of, like, today, I didn't want to get out of bed.
Yeah. So you do have to, but you're still like, you get up and you're like awake, and like, it's hard for me to talk before coffee.
That's true.
It's really hard. It's hard for me to look you in the face and smile at you because you're going to talk to me.
Boop. What else I got out of that reading was, and I never saw this before, but change causes the plums. And what I was thinking of when you read that story, so this constant change, I feel sorry for myself because I was doing this and now I have to do something different. And I can feel sorry for myself because I put in all that effort and now I have to do something different. Oh my goodness. And I thought of, I don't know what grade I was in, but we're doing like maybe grade 5, and we're doing this project individually. Like, it was almost like a test, but it was a creative exercise. And I remember I finished mine. I'm all proud of myself. And I look at the girl beside me, and she had done it wrong.
Uh-oh.
And so I said, you did it wrong. I'm sorry. Like, I just said, you did it wrong. And she started crying. And I'm like, help. And I didn't know what I did wrong, but that's exactly this concept of, if I have this thinking and the thoughts, and God's saying to me, these need to be changed. Your thinking, your belief systems, all of these things need to be abandoned and thrown away. I can really feel sorry for myself, because that's what I've held on to my whole life.
Well, and I mean, I think it's especially difficult when someone has had a hard life, right? If you've actually really truly had a hard life, and yeah, it's, we can get stuck in that. Well, this person did this to me, or my parents didn't do this, and this, never happened, and other people had this, and I didn't have that. And that is such a vicious cycle that you just swirl around and around and around in self-pity. Poor little old me syndrome. And the truth is, yeah, that was terrible. And is that what you want to define the rest of your life?
To continue to put, like, and so it says, like, when our thinking is fruitless. And so God wants us, our thinking, to actually, because what our thinking does is cause us to act. And so he's going to change our thinking. And if we hold on so tightly to all of those things that we've come to know, and through our experience and our belief system, it's going to be fruitless. And we're going to, but I think that the changes that we get is the cause of, we could let it cause us to go, I feel sorry for myself. Oh, poor little old me. I have to let go of all this stuff. Yeah, that's a heavy duty.
But I think it's exciting though, because the thing is, so poor little old me syndrome, I feel like can go one of two ways, and it can go like into self-pity, which you can picture the mouse, like the meek little mouse of like, those elephants keep trying to step on me, and like life is so dangerous, and oh, poor me, I just scamper from one hiding spot to the next, and I'm cowering in fear. Or poor little old me syndrome can come out in aggression, and like, I will rule the world, and I'll show you all, and self-protection. And the thing is, what I realized not too long, self-pity kills more people, because self-pity drives us back to drinking. Self-pity drives us back to drugs. Self-pity isolates us. Self-pity, I would say, is at the root of much, not clinical depression, but much depression and anxiety and spiraling thoughts, And so I don't want to diminish the medical. There's medical depression. There's medical diagnosis. Those are really serious, and we need to talk to our doctor. And trauma is very serious. But the reality is that even a person who has been tragically abused can move past it. We see people move past
it. That's the hope,
and because the only hope is to move out of self-pity.
That's the beginning, into acceptance. That there is a better... There is the power of God that can actually transform your insides. That's the hope. Ultimately, self-pity, the plums separate me from you, and then me from God. And so if I'm stuck in this self-pity because of the changes that I have to, like, you can't grow if you're not going to change. And I can't just be stuck in what I think is the norm. So
God has given us a gift acceptance of today. He's given us a gift of his love. He's given us a gift of his mercy. And his healing. And we can look at today as a gift and look outside ourselves.
Today is his day that we get to be a part of. All right. May you be free from the grip of self-pity and the plums, and move into acceptance and growth and change. Love everybody. Keep the peace. Be of good behavior. And we will see you probably not tomorrow because we have an early thing. But hopefully Saturday we will see you for Ashes to Rubies event at 7:30. Until then.